Great. All right. So I'm recording. This is our BSPU call for Tuesday. I don't know what date it is. Is it the 4th? September 4th, after Labor Day. Hope you guys had a nice Labor Day weekend, those of you that are in the United States. Going to talk today about how to create irresistible offers with your book's content and how to also repurpose your book's content so people can consume it in different ways. As always, I'm going to start my video, reintroduce it, and then go into what I'm going to share. I got a bunch of notes for you as well. Drop my pen. So let's rock and roll. Hey guys, Rob Kosberg here with Bestseller Publishing. Got a cool training I think for you today. I'm going to talk to you today about how to create irresistible offers with your book and also how to repurpose your book's content so that it can be consumed by people in a myriad of different ways. First of all, if you're anything like me, and I'm going to guess that you are, at least in this way, you have purchased on Amazon, at least I have, dozens of both the digital version of a book as well as the soft cover, and in some cases, even the audio version of the book and the hardcover. I have, almost an encyclopedia of, certain books' contents that I want to have in different ways for me to consume. And in the same way, with your book, you are doing yourself and those that want to learn from you a disservice if you don't have your content available for them to consume in a myriad of different ways. Now, I was sharing with my BSP clients just a few moments ago before I started recording this, that in some ways this is kind of cool for people timing-wise because I am going through my book launch right now at the same time, and I am not just the CEO of Hair Club for Men, I am a client as well. Again, not literally, but figuratively, right? Remember that old commercial? We eat our own cooking at BSP, and I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm doing to repurpose this content and have it ready for a free plus shipping funnel. And I got tons of notes for you as well that I'm going to go over. So the first thing that I want everyone to understand is, as I shared in the very beginning, people that are interested in your topic are interested in consuming your content in different ways. Some of them may be willing to pay significantly more to consume your content in a video course. Others will certainly be willing to pay more to listen to your book's content on audio. And some will pay for a paperback a lot more than they would be willing to pay for a digital or Kindle version of your book. So you need to give people the ability to choose not just one, but multiple different options, and maybe even buy all of them in some type of bundled format. So besides that key element that you need to understand, because that's the way you consume content as well. You prefer to consume content certain ways over other ways. The other thing that is interesting is when you have just a book, for example, that you've put your heart and soul into, right? You have hundreds of pages of content, stuff that you've poured out, case studies and examples and diagrams and all that kind of stuff. You need to understand that that alone oftentimes isn't incentive enough for somebody to even pay 7, 8, 10, 12 bucks. You need to think in terms of making great offers to your clients. Okay? Now, what do I mean by that? Here's what I mean by that. When you take a book like this that's selling on Amazon right now for $24.95 in the softcover version, and I offer this book for free, all someone has to do is pay for shipping and handling, say $6.95 or $7.95. I've now taken this book's content and I've created something more irresistible, more desirable to a potential buyer than its standard price of $24.95. Now, someone may be willing to pay $24.95, but 3 or 4 other people may say to themselves, wow, he's offering this for free. All I have to do is cover shipping. I'm that interested in it. And now this is someone that I have in my email list as a buyer of my content. In a free plus shipping funnel, something that I've talked a lot about recently because I'm rolling mine out, you want to think in terms of getting people in the door with something that is irresistible Irresistible, a free best-selling book, right? Even if they have to pay for shipping and handling, is still a pretty irresistible offer. It gets them initially in the door, and then I can take the content that is in this book and repurpose it a number of different ways to now get them to consume it in other ways. So what will I be doing? Well, first of all, I start with making a list of a bunch of different things that I can potentially do with my content. And then I am going to bundle and position those things in my free plus shipping funnel so that people that initially get in the door that have already raised their hand and said, I am interested in this topic and put a credit card in, I know a percentage of them are going to be interested in consuming even more content of mine. So the very first thing that I recommend when it comes to a free plus shipping funnel or when it comes to having additional ways for people to consume your content is the audio version of the book. Now, many times my clients ask, well, Rob, can you do the audio version for me? Can you put my book on Audible, etc.? And we don't offer that at BSP. Here's why we don't offer that. Because we don't recommend you actually put your book on Audible. Now, if you're not going to do anything else with your book, if you're not going to create a funnel, if you're not going to sell ancillary products and services, then sure, go ahead and put your book on Audible and sell it for $11.95, $12.95, whatever. But if you don't have it on Audible and you use a free plus shipping funnel in conjunction with offering your book for free, as long as they pay for shipping, then you can get as much as $27 or even $37 for the audio version of your book. Now, if you also have your book for sale at Audible on Amazon for $11.95 and people find out about that, they're going to feel cheated, right? Because, hey, you sold to me for 27 bucks. You made it seem like a great deal, but I could have gotten it on Audible for $11.95. So I tell my clients, look, don't even put it on Audible. Leave it off Audible and use it in conjunction with your free plus shipping funnel. That is always the first and best version of the upsell in a free plus shipping funnel. Now, even better than that, as a first upsell offer, is if you can bundle your audiobook with something else that would be desirable to this client that has started down my funnel. Now, we know that this topic is already desirable because they took out of their wallet a credit card and they put the numbers in for $7.95 or whatever the amount was. So we know that it was at least that desirable to them. So what would I do? Well, I have content surrounding the publishing of their book, the writing and publishing, the promotion of their book, and the profiting or PR and media for their book, including speaking engagements and lead gen. So I could create workbooks out of each one of the elements of the content of my book. So I could create a writing and publishing workbook. I could create a launch workbook. What would I do? Well, I would repurpose the content in here with questions that they would have to answer, with things that they would have to do, account setup, or thoughts that they have to take time to go through in the writing process. So I could create a writing workbook. I could create a launch workbook. I could create a media and PR workbook, a lead generation workbook. I could create a number of workbooks surrounding this that I could put a value at $24 or $30 or something like that. And if I bundled all of those with the audio version, I might be able to offer it for $47 or $57 or $67 because now it has a value of $100 or $200 with all of the workbooks bundled in. And someone will say, well, that's pretty irresistible. I would love to have the writing workbook. I'd love to have the launch workbook. I'd love to have the PR and media workbook. So all I've done is taken the content that's already in here and I've repurposed it in a workbook format so that they would be interested in it. Well, not only that, but what do I also do? Well, I create content on a regular basis. Maybe you don't, you should, but maybe you don't. Well, I have hours and hours and hours of material. In fact, these BSPU calls that I'm recording right now, I've been doing for 2.5 years. So I have literally dozens of these weekly calls in 10-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute segments, right? So what am I doing? Well, one of the other elements of my funnel that I'm going to do is I'm going to give people access to the lifetime files of all of my BSPU calls. And I've had one of our new employees literally going through every single of the 2.5 years of BSPU calls and documenting what those calls are about and documenting details. So I have like pages and pages and pages of documentation on the stuff that I've been teaching for the last 2.5 years. What am I doing? All I'm doing is taking older content, right? That's really still valuable content. I'm going to package it all up, and I'm going to tell people, look, if you were a part of BSPU and paying $100 a month for it over the last 2.5 years, this is like $2,000 worth of content, $2,500 worth of content, but I could offer that, something like that, for $97 or $197. And all it is all of the content that I've already put together, bundled up on a membership site that they get access to for $97. Doesn't cost me a dime, but it raises the value of that client that's now coming in because a percentage of those people will buy that. I could also, besides giving them the archives, I could make some kind of special lifetime, one-time only offer to come into BSPU for, instead of $97 a month forever, for a one-time fee of $300 or $400 or $500 or whatever. I only need 1, 2, or 3 people out of 100 to take that to bump the cart value of my free plus shipping funnel significantly. It doesn't stop there, right? I have a $1,000 course that I sell. I can create an ads for authors course where we teach people how to do Amazon ads or Facebook ads for their books. I can give them a ticket to an event, like a VIP ticket. Instead of $97, I can downsell it to less. I mean, there's so many things that I can do with both the content in the book and the content that I already have. You just have to be creative. You have to think, okay, this person's coming in for this content. What are they missing that they would love to have? What additional things can I add in and bundle those things up, right? Put a real value on it, and then give people some kind of massive, irresistible discount. Your free book, right, that, all they paid for was $6.95 for shipping, can now become something where they're getting a free book, but they're adding in the audio version, they're adding in the workbooks, they're adding in the archives of the BSPU weekly calls, they're adding in the ads for authors course, and all of a sudden, when they were looking to spend $6.95, they found all of these things that could be useful, and they might spend $100 or $200. And a percentage of people will always do that. So you have to think, what from the content on my book can I give to people in addition to the book? Put together in a way that repurposes the content in a different format, video version, audio version, right? Besides the written version, workbook version, so that they go, wow, that is something that could be very, very helpful to me. This is a great way for you to take something that, people want, but it only has this much value, and create an irresistible offer by raising the value, raising the bar, bundling things, and get your ideal client to spend even more money with you. Not to mention that person can then do a telephone call with an author development coach, or with yourself, or with a sales person on your team, and even be, a potential client to go to the $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 all done for you inclusive package. I hope this is helpful. This is something you need to be doing with your book's content. If you're not, you are really missing out on the opportunity. Do me a favor, leave a comment below. Feel free to ask me a question. I'll engage and I'll be happy to answer it. Take care, guys. Talk to you next week. All right. There you go. Got my video done. Going to hand it over to Steve so he can repurpose that. I even shared with you exactly how I'm doing it, my list of ways that I'm going to be repurposing my content. So what questions can I answer for you, my clients, those that have already trusted BSP? Christy says, I've read the book. It's great. Thank you, Christy. By the way, anybody that is interested in getting a free copy of this, I will mail this to you if you will promise to hold it up, read a few chapters, and share about the book and what you've learned. Several of you have sent me back videos, but you're not really saying anything about the book. You're not saying anything about what you've learned. I can still use it, and I'm grateful, But if you would please say, I loved, Rob, what you said in chapter 7 in the launch party, where you talked about how the book needs to be launched and how you do it with a 5-step formula and blah, blah, blah. I mean, if you just read a couple of chapters, you'll have some great content that you can share. So please, please, please do me a favor. If you want it, I'll send it to you for free. I got 100 of them, sitting right in the other room. All I ask is that you please hold the book up, shoot me a 1-minute video, share with me some details on it. I will absolutely positively use that video, of which I'm going to be driving hundreds of thousands, even millions of eyeballs to it, because I'm going to be driving a lot of traffic from Facebook, Instagram, Google to the page that offers my book. And if your video's on there, then all you have to do is share, hi, I'm Rob Kosberg. You can find me at bestsellerpublishing.org. Hey, I bought the book here, blah, blah, blah. And then that way people now know who you are. They have your website, etc. as well. So hopefully that makes sense. So let's go ahead and see if I can answer some questions. So Christy, hi Christy. Do you do that via Amazon, or is it handled separately? It would have to be handled separately. So the problem with Amazon is that Amazon does not share any details on buyers. They consider the buyer theirs. Now they'll share, of course, the revenue with you, which we're all grateful for the revenue. But the reality is, when you do like a free plus shipping funnel and I'm offering the book for free, then I am going to be either handling the fulfillment in my office, or I'm going to get a fulfillment company to handle the fulfillment, depending on how many books I'm moving every single week. So you'll need to actually send the book out and whatever other content you're including with the book. So all of that is going to be separate and distinct from Amazon. You'll have to fulfill it like digitally, like if someone's asked for the digital version, then you'd send them an email, etc., with a link to the digital version. You'd have it set up on a membership site. Now, the one good thing, Christy, is I'm documenting all of this stuff, how I'm doing it, and you guys will have access to the details of that course as I'm documenting it. So good. Hopefully that's helpful. Jean says, did you explain how to create the audiobook? Do you sell the workbooks also through Amazon? You can sell the workbooks through Amazon as well, Jean. I've not gone that far with thinking about selling it through Amazon. I'm really more interested in my free plus shipping funnel. As far as how you create the audio version of the book, we do not have that as part of our course. But here's the deal. Don't spend any money on it. All you have to do is go to acx.com or just go to YouTube. And just type in, how do I record the audio version of my book? All you're really recording is like an MP3 file, and there's 100 ways to do that. You need a decent mic and set up, but it won't cost you very much money to do it. So do a search on it rather than paying anybody any money, because everything you need to know about it you'll be able to find on the web or on YouTube. Christy says, is the course in person or online? So what I'm going to be selling in conjunction with the free plus shipping is all going to be digital. So I don't have any fulfillment myself. I don't have any staffing cost. I don't have any services that we're providing. As far as what I'm putting together for you guys, same thing. It's going to be, stuff. Basically, I am keeping track of all the stuff that I'm sharing, like my notes and all that. And I'm just making that available to you, my clients, so that you can model these things. At this point, there's no plan to help our authors actually do this as a service. We may down the road, but at the moment, there's no plan to do that. I'm not setting you up to sell you something, I guess is what I'm saying. I'm just sharing with you what I'm doing so you guys can replicate it if that's interesting to you. Suki says, can I get a copy? Absolutely. Love to send you and John a copy. Do me a favor. You have my cell, so why don't you text me your mailing address, and I will get you out a book today. And I'll send it to you. Take 2 days shipping, USPS. And do me a favor. Have John do a video for me as well. Just read a couple chapters, hold it up, say who you are, and your website, so that way you'll get some love. And I'm going to be using Russell Brunson's model. In fact, let me just share the screen with you again. I'll show you guys exactly what I'm going to be doing, what it's going to look like. So I'm just going to to create my website. My free plus shipping funnel is going to look remarkably similar to Russell's. I mean, look, he's a good friend of mine, and he's the master at this. And so, I'm going to do video right there. I'll have some details on the book, and then I'm going to have some testimonials like Kevin Harrington, a few other folks there at the top. I'll have some reviews just like this. I've put together 3 pages of secrets that are in the book. And then your videos, you do a video for a book, are going to be right along here. So, high profile. I'm just going to put your name on there, what you think of the book. Notice how everybody is, on the video. They're holding up the book. They're sharing about the details of it. I'm going to be doing the exact same thing. All the details are going to model and mirror this. And I recommend you guys do the same if you create a free plus shipping funnel. You don't have to have every one of these elements, but these are really, really helpful elements. So this is what I'm looking to create. I want you holding up the book, telling us who you are, and then what it was about the book that really helped you as far as the details, something that you read. So hopefully that makes sense there. Awesome. So anybody that's interested, you can type your address into the chat box, and I'll mail you a copy of the book. Or Christy, you're right down the street. If you want to stop by and pick it up, or maybe I already gave you. I hope I gave you a copy. I did. Good. So if you have a chance, read a little bit of it. That would be awesome. And Suki, you'll text me your info, which is great. Lenka says, already got 5-star reviews on my book just in the past 3 days. Are we ready for our PR push? So the PR happens after the launch of the book, Lenka. So the PR doesn't happen until down the road. If you're talking about the hard launch, remember, the first step of the launch is the soft launch. That's where you get Amazon verified reviews. We want to get as many as possible. So generally we wait, a couple weeks for you to get those reviews. Then we schedule the hard launch of the book. And that's where we do our paid advertising, our social media, our press releases, and all of that stuff to push your book out on KDP. So hopefully that makes sense. Otherwise, Lincoln, if you have another question, call Sydney in the office or shoot her an email is probably easier. And she can, tell you if you want to get the hard launch done as quickly as possible, no problem. We just want to make sure we have good reviews on your book. Christy says, do you host through Udemy or a service? So everything that I do is done through ClickFunnels. So ClickFunnels, like the funnel that I just showed you of Russell Brunson's book with all the reviews and all that stuff, that is built on a funnel building service called ClickFunnels. It ranges from $97 a month to $297 a month, depending on all the bells and whistles you need. Most people only need the $97 a month. And you can host membership sites on there where people can only get access when they buy your stuff. You can build all of your funnels out on there. It's very, very easy. You can share funnels. So all the stuff that we've been building, and even like our free plus shipping funnel that we're building, I can share with you, my clients. And if you're a ClickFunnels user, you just put the code in and my funnel appears in your account. And then you'll have to change out the pictures and the copy and all that stuff for you, but you don't have to worry about any of the tech. It's all set up for you. So that's what we use, Christy, as far as the building out of it. Lincoln says, I use iTalk for the audio recording. Sounds good. I really don't know much about the tech part of that. But if that works for you, fantastic. You just want something that's good quality. Suki says, how much are you planning to charge for this online course? Will do. If you're talking about the free plus shipping stuff that I'm doing for you, no charge. You're my client. All my done for you clients will get that. That'll just be stuff that will, because I'm always creating content. So that's just going to be more content that you're going to have access to. If we offer a service down the road, at the moment, I have no plans to do that. But if we offer a service down the road, then that would be something else that we would be talking about and figuring out. For some people, Suki, certainly in your industry, it would work out like you should do a free plus shipping funnel. Absolutely. And I think I told you, a good one to model is Natasha Hazlitt's. She's another one of our clients, and she's doing a free plus shipping funnel. on her book, along with a like a 30-day challenge that she charges like $97 for. And the 30-day challenge is to like get your business going. And, it's mainly for female entrepreneurs that she does this for, but it works out really, really well. So look at Natasha's stuff. Her free plus shipping funnel is doing very well. Joanne, you gave me your address. Awesome. I will send you a copy of my book. Let me just open my notes here really quick so that I can put your address in there. And Dave, I see you put yours in there as well. Thank you. I will send you a copy also. So let me throw your info in there. Hang on one second, everybody. Forgive me for the delay here. Okay, so Joanna, you're set. I'll get yours out to you. Dave, you are set as well, and I'll get yours out to you. I'm happy to mail to Canada also, no problem. Love my Canadian friends and clients. Good. Okay, so what are the questions we have? Suki says, I've built my landing page on ClickFunnels, but how do I share with you to get your feedback? What I'd suggest, Suki, is that this is something that we do on these calls. I am more than happy to answer any questions that you have, but I just like it to be in a format where other people learn of my clients at the same time. So I'd say, maybe next week, why don't you plan on, I'll make a note that next week we'll talk about using your book with an online funnel. And we'll use your landing page as an example, if you're willing to do that. And I'll break it down and I'll give you some additional suggestions and that kind of thing. So if that sounds good to you, do me a favor and just type it in. Let's see here. What else? Chris says, does payment processing happen through ClickFunnels? Yes and no. Christy, you have to have set up through a merchant like Stripe. Stripe is the easiest. That's what I would use. That's what I do use, Stripe. And ClickFunnels does integrate completely and very seamlessly and easily with Stripe. So set up an account with stripe.com and then that will integrate completely. Stripe is great. Don't go through like your bank or anything like that because they take forever. They're more expensive. It's so much easier to use something like Stripe. I also wouldn't recommend PayPal. I have, and others in the past, friends of mine, clients of mine, have had bad experiences at times with PayPal. So I still use, some clients want to pay me through PayPal, and I'm happy occasionally to use PayPal, but most of what we use is Stripe. Joanna says, can you show me Natasha's site? You need to look it up. Joanna, I don't know what it is offhand. Let's see. Why don't let me try to do this while I share my screen with you guys. How about that? Bear with me a second. I'm going to share my screen and see if I can find Natasha's site with you together. You can see I've searched it before. Let's see. Now I don't know. Let me move everybody's. I don't know if she has this. If she has this set up like on her homepage. This is Natasha. We launched her book for her. She is all over Facebook doing advertising. So let's see. Let's see what she has here. You know, events and speaking, work with me. I don't think she's updated like her personal website to include like her funnels. So that's unfortunate. Let me see something else here. So I don't see it on on her site. Let me go to Facebook. I might have saved her ad because I do sometimes save my clients' ads so that I can give some feedback on them. Let me see what I have. By the way, something you can always do if you see an ad that you like on Facebook is just save it, and you can create like a whole swipe file of saved stuff. As you can see, I have. Let's see. Don't see it here. Let's do a quick search for Natasha. One last thing here. And see if Unstoppable Influence is her book. Great book. She did all the writing. We did the launch and media, and it did fabulous. Let me see if she's shown anything on it on her regular pages. Most people don't. They use their regular pages. This may be it right here. This is it, in fact. This is her 21-day challenge. I don't know if this is her free plus shipping funnel in conjunction with it. She was doing both, but this is her 21-day challenge. This is the details on it. You can see discounted price, $197 down to $47, what you get in it. She's bundled stuff, which is smart. That's what I've told you should do. This is her book that she's bundled with it. Challenge bundle includes bookmark, laptop sticker, other cool things. Remember, it's only 47 bucks. So let me copy and paste this into the chat box for all of you guys so that you can see that as well. And let me do that. There you go. That's for everybody. So take a look at Natasha's stuff. Let's see, payment processing, Natasha's site. Pia, is my book on the way? Pia, it certainly should be. Would you do me a big favor and just give me your address again? I don't know if you have my cell. Text it to me if you have my cell. If not, send it to me, like put it on here right now or give it to me privately. But absolutely, you were supposed to get a book. And I know we've shipped out like 60 of them. So I'm pretty sure that yours was included, but just in case, give me your info. Oh, Randy says it's on the way. Okay, there you go. So it is on the way, Pia. Pia, and I know you left me a review on Amazon. Thank you for doing that. But if I could also ask if you could just, give me the same review on video, just holding it up. Give me your website address, so that there'll be some promotion of you as well. And I'll gladly use that video in our marketing stuff. Suki says, yes, please. Okay, so next week, Suki, then send me the details on your landing page stuff. And next week on our BSPU call, and maybe there will be a couple of other clients that I'll ask if they want that, and I'll give you a critique on your webpage. Christy says, it would be optimal to have all the workbooks, course material, websites set up before we launch, correct? Yes. It's always optimal, right, to have all of that. It's also optimal to launch it and make sure that you don't hold off launching it. So I don't have all my stuff set up, and I'm like the book guy, right? So my book is launched, and here it is in my hands. So I said to myself, I would rather get the book out, start getting it into people's hands. And as you can tell, I'm building the content right now. I'm asking people for my video reviews and all that kind of stuff. So don't feel like you have to have every element in place. I'd rather you jump out of the airplane and package your parachute on the way down, if that makes sense. You'll be much more urgent to pack your parachute on the way down. So if you can get it all done beforehand, fantastic, but I didn't. So it's totally okay. Pia says, happy, thank you, we'll do the video. Thank you, Pia. Sean says, I made you a video. Would you like me to make a new one with the book cover? Sean, if you did a video without holding the book up, I would love you to hold the book up just because that's going to be on the book page and I want people to, make that connection. So if you wouldn't mind doing that, it would mean a ton to me. Do you have a copy of it, Sean? I think you do, right? There it is. Awesome. Great. Thank you. Please, if you wouldn't mind doing it, I would love it. Suki says, do I publish the site or will I share my screen? I didn't want to publish it until ready during coaching next week. You can share it on your screen, Suki. That's totally fine. I'll make you a panelist or give you the option to share stuff. So totally fine to do that. You don't have to make it live. And I think that'd be helpful for everybody. So Suki says, cool. Great questions. Love it. Love when you guys feed me great questions because, I think it's helpful for everybody. what else? I don't see any other questions. If not, then I'm happy to jump off. What I'm doing, what you see me doing every week with like just recording content, repurposing it, asking for video reviews of my book, all these kinds of things, just make a mental note. Don't just do what Rob says, do what Rob's doing. I mean, I want you to do these things. This will make a difference. Even if you're not ready to use people offering video testimonies of your book, you can throw it up on Facebook, right? The video, and then put the link in there. You don't need to have all of it put together to begin asking people to start getting you the elements in place that you can use. And then you can just keep it in a big file for when you need this stuff. I mean, I've done 2.5 years of these calls with people, and now I not just have offered great value to you, those of you who've been with me for a long time, but holy cow, now I have 2.5 years of content that's all categorized and documented and valuable. So I can offer that in a bundle, even for $100 or $200. I mean, why wouldn't somebody be interested in doing that that's purchased my book? So keep that stuff in mind. Always document your stuff. Always record it. Keep it somewhere because you'll want to use it in the future. So looks like that's it. I don't see any other questions. You guys are great. Thanks for your trust in BSP and me. And look forward to talking to you next week. See you then.